cemetery and talk to some people. Hey everyone, we are headed to Pere Cheney. Julie grew up in this area and I slaughtered the name. They say there's 90 people buried in this cemetery. One got moved. This town has a history. Developed really quickly and it disappeared just as quick as it developed, losing all but like 20 or 30 people of the town to disease, and everyone moved away. With that happening, there's so many, they're calling them legends, I call them rumors of this place. So we're gonna take a walk and we're gonna talk about some of these things. We did bring my REM pod with us. We are going to use that when we get to a spot that we want to sit and talk for a little bit, but we're going to take you guys on a walk and you're going to discover what we do. You just won't be getting wet like us. So we're crossing the railroad tracks. Remember, always be respectful. Don't take anything from the cemetery when you go. Treat it like you would, want to be treated. So we are actually coming through some woods. There seems to be two main legends. The one is a witch put a curse on the town. Did you hear that legend? Because you grew up in this area.
That was kind of the scuttlebutt talk when I was young.
So in describing the word witch, from the research that I did, it was actually a woman that was banished out of town with her child because she had a baby out of wedlock, and the baby died because of the elements, so the witch cursed the town. Supposedly there's an oak tree somewhere in here that this woman was hung by, and then they said they buried her under the trunk of this tree. That's the biggest legend to this. And actually in 2001, two teenagers from this area were caught out here digging. Two turkey hunters caught them and they had dug down 4 feet.
Ugh.
So when they got arrested, they said they were looking for jewels or jewelry, but eventually admitted that they had heard the legend of the witch and they were trying to find the witch. Don't dig up at cemeteries, number one. Number two, I don't know about you, but I don't want to find a witch.
Not at all.
And the other legend here is that it was built on sacred Native American land, and so the land was cursed. The only thing that actually is left of this whole town is this cemetery. Everyone left that was still alive. These are their markers. And this is just a letter. This talks about the town and the things, how quick it was and how it disappeared. 50 families perished here, it says, and they're buried here. There's very few headstones remaining here. Most of them have been vandalized. Pieces have been taken over the years. And this is kind of the families that was here. The thing that I think is neat about this place is people are coming out and trying to be respectful. People are bringing flowers. And for this being so old, it's actually very well maintained. Like, other than the tree damage that's just from the storm we just had, it is pretty well maintained. I don't feel witchcraft because I usually get a really bad feeling in my stomach when there's witchcraft around. That would have been is that an oak tree?
That is an old oak tree that is dead.
So that's kind of a creepy looking tree. So I imagine if you're spewing legends, that would be kind of a really creepy tree. There's so few markers out here. So if they said they thought there was 90 and one was moved, and the family moved the one and took them back to Chicago. Even on the paper that we got with some of the names, it only has like, what would you say, maybe half of the names?
Yeah, if that.
And it doesn't make sense. And it even says on the paperwork that there's conflicting stories. So, like, let me just show you what I mean about destruction, you guys. Like, just don't do this. This was a person. This is their memories. You may be broken, but you're not forgotten. And it's just sad. We're just going to pick a spot. Again, a lot of them have nothing. You can tell where the ground is caved. My theory would be the way that they just buried them in boxes because of the disease, the cholera, diphtheria, whatever it was that took the town out, and just think like over the years it would have rotted. And see, we just walked up on that.
Yeah, the old marker.
Yeah, just in the ground. We're going to pick a spot. We might as well stop right here. We're going to try to do some talking. And there's no visible marker anywhere around here, so we don't even have a clue. But it is sunk down. I would say this is definitely a grave, and it definitely looks like a cross. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say that as well.
Okay. And it's surrounded by woods. So this goes really far. I just want you guys to kind of see this. We're just going to spend a few minutes and see if we can get someone to talk to us. We're going to use a REM pod. I'm going to use my gift. I did bring some crystals. I'm actually going to put one in the ground here for them. So I do have that. This is a REM pod, guys. And so I'm going to just put a crystal in the ground just so you know what I'm doing. And I'm going to kind of just show you this. So you see something has to come within a certain area to make it go off. And these don't go off very often. And we're just going to kind of have a little bit of a conversation and just listen to what they have to say. My name is Tammy. This is Julie. If anyone's here, do you want to come talk to us? We're getting a little bit of clicking. And we have a visitor. Is the train still run through here?
Yes, it does.
Because I feel like I'm hearing like a train. Like I feel like, Julie, I'm feeling like someone died getting hit by a train. Like I'm hearing train and I'm feeling like, but it would have been during this era. So not like recent times. So we have to figure out how we're going to figure that one out. It would have been, so this would have been, yeah, they're agreeing with me. This REM pod's going off and it doesn't normally go off. I feel like it would have been early 1900s. Like the same era. I don't feel like it was a young person. I almost feel like they chose to jump in front of the train. Like, we got some beautiful birds visiting us. Did you get hit by a train? Can you make that stop for a minute? Yeah. I'm not close enough to be doing that. If it was me, I want to show you what it would do. So that's me. So that's the difference of the energy out here. I just feel like, I don't know. Do you want to come talk to us? Let's look at that sheet for a second. Like, isn't there an area that it talks about? I want to show you how they kept track. I want to go to the names for a minute.
The names? Okay.
Yeah, I want to show you. This is all we know about people in this cemetery. It shows, so lots 29. It has their names, their age, but so let's count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, but then there's names on this side too. So it has some a weak heart. Oh my God.
Oh, killed by train.
Oh my God. 78.
Age 78.
Would you think, but it doesn't say when he was killed, right?
Let's see.
So Silas J. Cook, 78, killed by a train. So is that would have been the date, 10 of 1919, because then 10/16 of 1919, unknown, two babies, parents, grave, child, grave, unknown. Like, and the REM pod has not gone off since I acknowledged that I could feel like he was being hit by a train. Wow. So if they have this, we might be able to find out more. That's just crazy. So, but is it Charles Cook or is it
Silas Cook?
And then there's 2 days in between. So did the two cooks? Oh, that would make sense. Yes, that makes sense. I get it now. Thank you. We figured it out. Thank you for that. So remember I said I feel like he jumped on, oh my God, I got goosebumps.
Wow.
Remember when I said I feel like he jumped on the train?
Yeah.
So Charles Cook died 10/16 of 1919. Okay, and they're in the same lot. And then Silas It doesn't have the exact, it just says the same month. So I feel like, yes, I get it. I feel like I think he lost Charles. And if it was his only family left, we've got an exact date of Charles, but we only have the month and that he was killed by a train.
Wow.
And then that went off validating. It just like clicked. Like, it's like, oh my God, he lost Charles and he didn't want to be here anymore. And then he went in front of the train.
Wow, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
And then this REM pod went off and now it stopped again. It was like, I just could see it. Like, he lost Charles and then Silas jumped in front of the train. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. This is so validating when you figure something out. Like, I'm hearing this in my head, so they're talking to me. It doesn't mean they're stuck here, first of all. But when you're hearing these things and the REM pod is going up, like at the minute I understood it, the REM pod started going crazy again. It's like a validation point. It does not mean that these people are stuck here in this cemetery. They come because we're here respectfully wanting to talk to them. I felt his pain and jumping into this track to end his life. Yes.
Whoa.
Every time I talk about it and acknowledge it. Is that not crazy?
Yes.
That is freaking awesome.
The hair is standing up on my arms.
Yes. Every time I acknowledge Silas. Thank you, Silas. Oh my God, it is going nuts, you guys. So he's just happy to understand. I don't find fault with what you did. I understand your heartbreak. I understand Charles went and then you just were done. And
can you imagine what they lived through at that time?
Yeah, because that was at the end of all those disease. We get it, buddy. We're so grateful that you showed up for us. Wow.
Wow.
So it does not mean that they're stuck here at the cemetery. It means we came here. I felt his pain. I understood about him getting hit by the train. It happened to be one of the names we found. Yeah. And then there's a name with the same last name that would have died the same month. And I felt his pain every time we talked about him being gone. People always say, why don't you cross them over? They're not stuck here, you guys. They're showing up here because we're talking to them. We're being respectful. I am leaving a crystal in this spot, not because I think he's stuck here, but because I'm very grateful that he showed up and he validated what I was feeling, what I was sensing, and every time we talked about him. Isn't that amazing?
That is totally amazing.
Like, to catch all of that. I'm leaving this crystal simply because it's not hurting anything. I'm going to push it down into the ground. Thank you for that. I guess if he approves, then
I think we should leave it.
We're definitely going to leave it. I think we leave another one. I'm going to put another one down there for you and your son. I appreciate it. I don't want to, I'm not moving your cross. I'm just sticking another one. Thank you for that. I'm sticking another one in the ground here. Put 2 crystals in the ground for Charles and Silas. We're very grateful that he showed up with us. So I was feeling it. They're validating. There always has to be some kind of validation. We really didn't read through the names when we got it. We looked at the map and we tried to figure out what the heck. And then we read that there's conflicting reports in this map. It's raining, it's cold, they've welcomed us, and now we're gonna leave them.
I've been through this a couple of times, and when you were talking about what had happened and him getting hit by the train, at that exact same moment, I turned to look at the train tracks because I heard something at the train tracks. I heard like a thump, and I thought, oh, well, there must be somebody over there or somebody else coming to the graveyard cemetery. And yet when I turned to look, there's nobody over there, but I clearly heard something.